transported to the mitochondria, to the mitochondrial matrix. Then here we have some enzyme which known as actually the whole pathway known as a beta oxidation. And as you learn, we are going to do oxidation on carbon beta. Why do we do the oxidation? Oxidation is releasing all kind of work, kind of food in the world, in all organisms. We need to do oxidation to release energy. So here, this is carbon alpha and this is carbon beta. The first enzyme, actually, fatty acid CoA dehydrogenase. Fatty acid CoA dehydrogenase. What does that mean? It means took two hydrogen from these two carbons and produce FADH2, which is equivalent to how many ATP? 2 ATP. Then we can create a double bond between these two carbons. The name of this structure known as a trans-ennoyl CoA. Trans-ennoyl CoA. So till now we produce one FADH, which is equal to 2 ATP. Then, if you remember, during the fatty acid synthesis, we had a dehydration. Here, instead of dehydration, we have what? Hydration. Trans-ennoyl CoA hydratase add one molecule of water to the structure and produce a beta hydroxyacid CoA. Then, in the next step, what we should have? What do you think? Fatty acid synthesis consists of these four processes. Okay. Fatty acid synthesis consists of condensation, reduction, dehydration, and what? Reduction. In beta oxidation, what we have? The pathway somehow is reversed. First of all, instead of reduction, we have what? Oxidation. Oxidation. Instead of dehydration, we have a hydration. So what we should have here?
Oxidation.
Oxidation. Then in the next step, again we have oxidation. We are going to oxidize this molecule. We took two hydrogen from this carbon and create a double bond keto group, beta hydroxyacid CoA dehydrogenase. Produce a one molecule of NADH, and which is equal to 3 ATP. This molecule name is ketoacyl CoA. Ketoacyl CoA because it has a keto group. Okay. Then, if you remember the structure of acetyl CoA, which you do not, is the structure of acetyl CoA just consists of two carbons. In the fatty acid synthesis, we assemble acetyl CoA molecule 2 by 2, then we make a fatty acid synthesis. Here we are going to cut every molecule of acetyl CoA during these 4 steps. So the last part of the reaction should be what? What do you think?
Beta oxidation.
No.
Cutting.
Cleavage. We call it cleavage. Instead of condensation, we have a cleavage. We have cutting the molecule of acetyl. So, beta oxidation and fatty acid synthesis, they consist of 4 steps, which these 4 steps should be repeat to synthesis of fatty acid or fatty acid degradation or beta oxidation, doesn't matter. So in the next step, we have an enzyme which is known as a thiolase. I don't know what is the name, but the name is thiolase, and can actually create a cut between these two and produce acetyl-CoA and fatty acyl-CoA with shorter by 2 carbons. So if we are going to cut the next acetyl-CoA, again we use fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase producing FADH, hydration, dehydrogenation. Dehydrogenation means oxidation. Dehydrogenation and oxidation, they are equal, similar. And finally, cleavage again. And goes back, and then the next acetyl-CoA is. So, you have to give me the answer of this question. From palmitic acid. If we are going to completely hydrolyze, degrade, what is the problem, Tabara? You're not comfortable? Any chair?
I am not comfortable.
Can we provide a new chair for you specifically? We can order from Tehran, they bring a new chair and you can sit on the specific chair for yourself. So palmitate has how many carbons?
16.
16. For complete hydrolysis, how many cycles? 8. 8. Do you agree, all of you?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No, 7. 14. Because the final one it's
You don't use your experience. When I ask you a question and you get the answer, I have at some point, then you should be sure your answer is not correct when I actually reply like that.
Some teachers say that, and then it turns out to be correct. So
7.
7
Why 7? Because at the last one, when we have a 4 carbon, by one cutting, we produce 2 molecules of acetyl-CoA, and this acetyl-CoA doesn't need to go from the first. So we have a 7 cycle for palmitic 7 cycle. Okay. What are the products?
7-5H2.
7F8H2.
7 NAD.
7NADH. Great.
Yes.
And then
ATP.
ATP. How many ATP?
2 ATPs.
2 ATP.
No.
8 acetyl.
8 acetyl.
And this acetyl can enter to Krebs cycle and produce more energy.
Okay, give me the how much energy is produced from this actually palmitate. Tilo, you went very good.
7-5H give us 14 ATP.
Exactly.
21 ATP.
21.
21. And each acetyl give us 12 ATP. So 12 by 5 is
Okay? So can you sum
5, 6, 11, 2.
131.
Is it correct? All of you? You don't have any other idea?
It's correct, but it's not the negative.
What?
The gross ATP. But we need to subtract 2 ATP.
2 ATP. Exactly. Why we need to subtract 2 ATP? Because what?
Because we spend.
to produce
We
this.
spend for what?
Leaving
For fatty acid-CoA activation. The first reaction, which known as activation of fatty acid-CoA, we spend 2 ATP. So we have to subtract these 2 ATP, and the final output fatty acid with 16 carbon is equal to 120. So you can imagine the amount of energy from fatty acid-CoA is higher than the amount of energy from carbohydrate. What is the reason of that?
Say again.
Again, for example, if you imagine carbohydrate with 16 carbon, we have a carbohydrate with 16, and we have fatty acid with 16 carbon.
Mm.
The amount of energy which produced from fatty acid is nearly two times in comparison to carbohydrate.
Because it's having more oxidation in carbohydrate because of the reaction with the oxygen and hydrogen. You know, and the carbon. There is more reaction.
What does that mean exactly?
Uh,
You're right, but you can't explain very well.
yeah.
There's more.
I mean, in the reaction of a carbohydrate, it's we have as a result energy plus water, maybe CO2.
Not
But-
exactly, but you know what is the reason? We are going to do oxidation to release energy. Okay? Carbohydrate structure is like that. They are COH. Okay?
Yes.
But fatty acid, they are what? CH. They are more reduced. Okay? Because they are more reduced, when they are going to oxidate them, we can produce more energy. The carbohydrate, they have some level of oxidation themselves. For carbon, we have different kind of oxidation. Carbon can has a 4 hydrogen, can has a 1 oxygen, CH2OH, COH, CHO, COOH, CO2. This is the highest level of oxidation of carbon, and this is the highest level of reduction. So between these two, we have different layer of oxidation. COH in carbohydrate is more oxidated in comparison to CH4 in the fatty acids. So for this reason, we can provide more energy from
Fatty acid.
fatty acids. So please calculate from myristic acid how many ATP we can provide.
From?
Myristic acid.
How many carbon?
Okay, how many carbon? Myristic acid. I gave this question 3 times to a student, international and Iranian. And all of them in the exam, they asked me how many carbon has a myristic. And my answer is that you should know how many carbon myristic has. And I teach you in the previous semester, myristic acid is that. And for this time again, I don't give you the number of carbon.
14 carbon?
14 carbon by Google.
Yes.
No, by
By what?
second.
The slides.
Slide.
Not by Google, by
He used Google instead of looking the slides. ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So you can also send a message to FBI to help you to find the myristic acid number carbon. Maybe ChatGPT also doesn't work. Here we have a myristic acid and 14 carbon. but you are not so smart to look at the slide and find out the number of carbon of muriatic acid.
It's not very clear.
Why is not clear? Muriatic acid C14.
CH2.
Oh my god.
Here.
That was really good.
What?
Sir, is it 84 energy?
What? How many?
Is it 84 ATP?
84.
Is it?
You agree?
Yeah.
Calculate and give me.
I calculate, but I calculate quickly, so I may be wrong.
You calculate by what?
Calculate. I calculate
Yes,
that
maybe it's right. I don't know.
that
exactly.
FADH, that we have 6 FADH, 6 NADH.
Yes.
We have 7
How many
acid.
cycles we have?
6.
6.
6.
7.
7. 6.
6.
8. How many?
7.
5. The number of
It
cycles.
should be 6.
I found myself a mathematics lecture.
No. Okay, have a seat there and see you next semester. Because there is a 14, if you are going to calculate the number of cycles, you have to actually use n divided by 2 minus 1. The number is 14. 14 divided by 2 minus
7.
1 is...
No, wait, 7.
You are power with the mathematics.
7.
It's 6
Minus
minus 1
6.
is 6.
I got 72.
Ah, yes.
Yes. How you can calculate that? 6 multiplied 5 is equal to 30. This is for what? To guys, if you are going to wish them, you work in restaurant? Yes. Oh, and I think you are actually you are going to be no, the manager of restaurant in the future. Is how many acetyl-CoA produced? For acetyl-CoA just then 2. 7. 7 multiplied 12.
It's 112. I made a mistake first.
You made a mistake, and you made a mistake. 84. 84 plus
30. 114.
140 minus 2.
Yeah, I got
112.
7. Yeah, I got the same.
You got this
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
We can say,
You should.
So the first
we can
number.
say each cycle A or each cycle gave us 17 ATP.
17 ATP.
Yes, from 2 from fat, 3 from nut.
Yes, but there is a little difference because cycle is 1 actually less than the number of acetyl-CoA. For this reason, you can calculate based on this formula you gave us. Your formula, keep it for yourself. Just use it. So,
Doctor, so the first number that we had, it's for that 30.
30. Because 6 NADH, 6 FADH. NADH 3, FADH 2, it means 5. 6 multiply 5 give us 30. Just during the beta oxidation, 30 ATP is produced. And then when we have a 7 acetyl-CoA, they will go to the Krebs cycle and they produce 12 ATP for each cycle, for each acetyl-CoA. Then it's equal to 84. 84 plus 30 is 114.
So
And minus 2.
Minus 2 is 112.
so and on 2 it's the 7 it's acetyl-CoA, right?
Yes, it's it.
So doctor, you calculate the number of FDH and that using the cycle number?
Which one?
How did is it every time that, for example, the number of cycles equals the number of FADH produced? Plus.
Exactly. The number of cycles are equal to the number of FADH and NADH are produced.
And for acetyl-CoA, we just have to add one.
Yes, exactly.
And
You
then-
know, the formula is like that. For the cycle, n divided by 2 minus 1. For acetyl-CoA, just n divided by 2.
Does this
It's better.
does this apply to all carbon or
Or fatty acid with any kind of carbon. So for example, you can calculate for lauric acid. What was your lauric acid? You can use Google right now because it doesn't present. Yes, exactly. It's a good question. They were saturated. And what do you think if we have an unsaturated? It's a very good question. And if they were unsaturated, how many ATP is produced? What do you think? Why you are so tired? You're working at the night to the morning. She's actually help or keep and actually clean all the dorm for all of the students.
Yesterday's visit.
You cook?
Yeah.
What you cook? We didn't eat anything.
You didn't eat, I ate.
You ate
Yes, I did.
I did it.
I
It's
didn't.
very good.
her food.
Yeah. It's very good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You just want to actually motivate her.
No.
Was good.
Delicious.
We took also MT till
They just want to support you.
No, it was not
No.
delicious.
That
We want seafood again.
he enjoyed from actually eating a free food. For this reason, they push you to you. Or you can just do something for us. Okay. You got it completely what's happening here?
What about the acetylcholine?
Acetylcholine.
Yes.
What is acetylcholine?
CoA.
That's not correct. You were saying acetylcholine, so just
Who said acetylcholine?
I don't know someone.
No.
Who said acetylcholine? Just your brother.
I don't know. So acetylcholine we add +1 to the cycle and then times it by 12.
Exactly. Is the formula.
What about the unsaturated?
What was the answer?
Saturated and
It
unsaturated.
needs more energy.
You know, for 12 carbon, which is lauric acid, we have a number of acetyl-CoA is 6. The number of beta oxidation cycle is 5. You have to multiply these 5, these 12. Okay? Minus 2. Just that. You can calculate for all kind of the saturated fatty acid. The number of cycle multiplied by 5. The number of acetyl-CoA choline multiplied by 12. Okay? 12 and 5. So Jafar is sleeping for this reason in the system. C. NADH is equal to 3, FADH is equal to 2, acetyl-CoA is equal to 12. So in each cycle we have all of them, but because we have one cycle less than number of acetyl-CoA, you should consider that. Again,
No.
you find out for activation of the lauric acid we need 2 ATP for all kind of actually, and 6 acetyl-CoA is equal to 72, 5 oxidation cycle is equal to 25, the total is 95. Okay?
So are you asking an exam to calculate how many?
Exactly, I will ask. But I will give you the unknown fatty acid. And you cannot find the number of carbon, then you cannot get the result.
That's stupid.
Yes. It's a very good.
Is this like explain question or short answer?
Multiple choice question.
So how are we supposed to see that?
You just by chance you can select and then by chance you will fail.
It's not like able to pass this exam by chance.
Some people, they are so lucky, they can.
They are
for
so
example, your
lucky.
friend Here.
I must be so lucky.
Yeah. Just if you actually wants to be so
I was lucky.
actually lucky, you can ask her advice, her point,
تغليس.
and then
I want to give it online. I
How
want to
to
give my
be
country.
lucky? You just
What's
ask.
the
Make a lecture on YouTube.
You are never lucky.
Stuff this after the class, please. Then just do this for every student.
fatty acid oxidation is tightly regulated. How? By carnitine shutdown. CPT1, carnitine palmitate transfer. How it can be actually inhibited or activated? The most inhibitor of carnitine palmitate transferase 1 is malonyl-CoA. Many times it was a question. Malonyl-CoA is inhibitor of CPT1. Which one of the following option is inhibitor of CPT1? The answer is malonyl-CoA. Why? What do you think? Malonyl-CoA is inhibitor of carnitine shutdown.
Due to the increase in coenzyme
You can really we don't have why we don't have internet here? Can you search pat and match?
Yeah.
Pat mat. You know pat mat? No.
Nicola?
What do you use your phone? You don't know where is it? This new phone. Who saw these animations, pat and mat?
Okay, yes, we
can't see.
we know it.
I didn't. I know.
My IT manager connected? Thank you so much. What did you do here?
Windows P
An ID and Wi-Fi.
099 عادي Thanks a lot.
What was it? Okay, sure. You didn't see this animation? No.
Yes, we know it. In Arabic, it was called Zingo Ringo.
Arab? What is the name of it? Zingo Ringo? What? Doesn't matter. Okay, I told all of the actually population of the world, I think 90% of them saw this animation. Not in your age, in our age, you know. And they are the symbol.
I will ask
They
my
are
father.
the symbol. The symbol of what?
This chip.
The symbol of useless work, you know. They were so clever. And for example, when they want to create this, actually, they had a great map. And when actually they bring a lot of component and draw a very good map, and they create them, finally, one part of them is destroyed and completely destroyed. All the work was like that. 200 sessions, and all of them are similar. They are so clever, they do everything, finally it destroys everything. And we call this kind of work pattern math work. If you are going to do something and you cannot manage it, in the older world, they know this as a pattern math work. You know, they call it pattern math. When you are going to do something and then the final result is useless. Please go and see some part of this. You can find out how it's so interesting, you know. So what is my intention from bringing pattern math here? Is related to beta oxidation and fatty acid synthesis. If they, at the same time, fatty acid synthesis occurs and then send it to the, for actually beta oxidation, is like a pattern math. Because when we are going to synthesis, beta oxidation should be inhibited. If we are going to do beta oxidation, fatty acid synthesis should be inhibited. For this reason, if this occurs at the same time, we call it pattern math work. So they prevent from pattern math in our cell. Our cells so organized very well. How it's possible? When we are going to make fatty acid synthesis, when we create malonyl CoA. Malonyl CoA is a precursor of fatty acid synthesis. So when we are going to make malonyl CoA send a signal to beta oxidation and say, you must be shut up. You must be inhibited, you know? And beta oxidation is inhibited by malonyl CoA from fatty acid synthesis. Okay? And again, when we are going to do beta oxidation, fatty acid synthesis should be inhibited. We had an enzyme which known as ACC, acetyl-CoA carboxylase. One of inhibitor was what? You made me disappointed all the time. Acetyl-CoA carboxylase was the most important enzyme in fatty acid synthesis. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Then it was regulated by some factors.
And so
One
now
of the inhibitor was fatty acid CoA. Fatty acid CoA, when we have fatty acid CoA, when we activate fatty acid CoA for beta oxidation, then this fatty acid CoA, which is going to mitochondria for beta oxidation, inhibit the fatty acid synthesis. It is the form and the way and the method to learn biochemistry. If you be able to correlate this pathway and enzyme and activation, regulation in the different condition, you understood, you can actually say, I understand biochemistry very well. And it's so important, not just here for basic science. Inshallah, when you become a medical doctor and a specialist, related to all kind of metabolic disease, you should have a complex thinking, and then you can find out the reason of disease. Then you can manage the treatment and prescribe very good actually medicine. So from now, please create a challenge for yourself to understand everything, not just biochemistry, all the actually things that you need. So, malonyl CoA was the actually inhibitor of CPT1. This aside is so good aside for comparing fatty acid synthesis and beta oxidation, all kind of aspect in one step. If you look at that, we have a synthesis, degradation, fatty acid synthesis, beta oxidation. You should know all these points, what they are. The greatest flux through the pathway when we have this pathway. After carbohydrate-rich meal, we have a synthesis. When we receive carbohydrate, we have a fatty acid synthesis. When we have degradation, starvation is the first one. Then the second, hormonal state favoring pathway. For synthesis, we need
Hot more
insulin. High insulin glucose ratio. For degradation,
We need glucose.
low insulin glucose ratio. Major tissue site. Synthesis primarily
Liver.
degradation,
Muscle.
muscle and liver, especially heart muscle and then other kind of muscle. Subcellular location. Synthesis, cytosine, degradation, mitochondria. Carriers of acyl or acetyl group between mitochondria and cytosine. For synthesis,
Citrate.
for degradation, RNA. Phosphopantothenium containing active carrier. What they are? Coenzyme A and ACP. Just those actually vitamin or coenzyme. Here we have an ACP and coenzyme A, but for activation of fatty acid you need coenzyme. Okay. The oxidation reduction coenzyme. For synthesis we need NADPH for reduction. For oxidation we need NAD plus and FAD for oxidation. 2 carbon donor. In synthesis, most of them are coming from mononucleate and 1 from acetyl-CoA. 1 just from acetyl. But here the product of beta oxidation is acetyl-CoA, 2 by 2. Then related to activator. Here we have a citral for activator. Related to inhibitor. Long chain fatty acid CoA is inhibitor, and here mononucleate is inhibitor. And finally, the product of pathway. For synthesis, we palmitate, we have palmitate and acid. The fourth step for synthesis and degradation: condensation, reduction, dehydration, reduction, oxidation, hydration, oxidation, pyrolysis or cleavage. Is the all pointed related to fatty acid synthesis and beta oxidation together in this table. And you should know this table well. So, your friend talk about the unsaturated fatty acid, how much we can provide energy from unsaturated is my question first. Then second, related to odd chain fatty acid. They are related to even chain. Okay, even chain is clear. We can cut 2 by 2 and finally we have a 4, it's produced 2 acetyl-CoA. But if we have an even chain, like 17, like 15, and also if we have an unsaturated fatty acid, what is your answer related to product and the amount of energy production? What do you think?
Degradation obviously gives loss of energy, synthesis uses. Well,
Give plus energy, unsaturated.
degradation, yes. Synthesis, no, uses, takes energy.
What do you think? Can you give me answer by chance? No. Here, because it's not it's present. And you will check. Yes, you can check, but in the real exam you cannot.
I you prepared this time.
You can search. Sometimes
Degradation is synthesis.
instead of spending and wasting your time in Instagram, Facebook, and
I think it's less. ATP form will be more ATP.
ATP produced less in the saturated fatty acid.
In unsaturated, because it has like double concentration is more.
How many ATP?
I mean, like what are the factors also depends on like how much energy is there, how much maybe there is something wrong in that. Oh, unsaturated.
What was the question?
What was the question? The question was here. The beta oxidation of chain fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid. Beta chain is here. If you look at that, related to beta chain, that's guys. In beta, hold on. Correct. in beta oxidation of odd chain, we cut 2 by 2. Okay, finally we will have a 5. If we cut 2 by acetyl CoA, how many carbon remain for us?
3.
3. These 3 carbon known as a propionyl CoA. Okay. Then the propionyl CoA by an enzyme which is known as a carboxylase receive 1 carbon, and the coenzyme is biotin. I am talking about that because I'm sure in the basic science exam also you will have one question from that, not just in final exam. In the basic science exam, all the time they will give one question from the beta oxidation of oxygen. The enzyme propionyl CoA carboxylase, the coenzyme is biotin. Needs ATP, produce methyl malonyl CoA. Then here, if you remember from vitamin, we need a vitamin B12 for methyl malonyl CoA mutase. Okay? And then produce succinyl CoA. So what was the succinyl CoA?
It's one of the
Krebs cycle. One of the actually metabolite in Krebs cycle. And if we be able to produce one of the metabolite of Krebs cycle, what does that mean? We can use them as a source of glucose. So all the time we say the fatty acid cannot be used for glucose synthesis. We have an exceptional, and the exceptional is that the odd chain fatty acid, this propionyl CoA part, can be used for glucose synthesis. Okay? By these 2 enzymes, they are so important. Propionyl CoA carboxylase, methyl malonyl CoA mutase is related to odd chain. Related to unsaturated, because unsaturated, as the Korad say, we have a double bond here. And at the first step of beta oxidation, by production of 1 FADH, we are going to create this double bond. So it's happened before for us. So we can understand 1 FADH produced less than the saturated fatty acid. Just 1 FADH for any double bond. If it has a 2 double bond, 2 FADH. If it has a 3, 3 FADH. So it means for saturated, you have to subtract 2. Okay? 2 from the final product. You got it?
Yes.
So I will give you the question from this part because it's more difficult. It's related to enable fatty acid and related to very long chain fatty acid grade. Those they have a more carbon than 16. Okay, for example, especially those they are more than 20. Their oxidation is a start in the peroxide zone. It's not finished here. It's finished here. Okay, peroxide zones. In the peroxide zones, they become shortened till 20 or 18. But this process does not generate energy. Just cut some part of
Decrease the
fatty
carbons.
acid. And this shortened fatty acid CoA subsequently transferred to the mitochondria and start the beta oxidation. So, 2 topic is remain, and then till 1 we can continue the class. Okay? You're not tired. You are tired. Who is tired? Okay, those are tired, they can go to door. Doesn't matter.
Once as an exam, you can not come again.
You go. You prefer to go? Yes? What do you want? Anyone can go. Doesn't matter. No, just I think maybe 2 hours, and after 2 hours the class will finish. Okay?
I have no problem with this life.
Please,
No, we don't have rest. Till 5 at the class. It's one lecture, but you were outside. You know, the lecture just right now is started. Yes. The next topic is related to cholesterol synthesis and then ketogenesis. What is the cholesterol synthesis? Do you remember the structure of cholesterol? What was the structure of cholesterol? And what is the function of cholesterol first?
It gives stability.
Stability what? Give a stability.
It's
Cell membrane. Yeah, it's part of cell membrane.
It's also biosol.
Yes, biosynthesis we need cholesterol. Then hormone. What kind of hormone? Steroid hormone. Then can you give me an example of a steroid hormone? Progesterone.
Testosterone.
Estrogen.
Testosterone.
All kind of the male and female hormone. Yes. Then what is the other function of cholesterol?
Transport some component from and to liver, I think.
What? Sedika, what is your problem? Is the first time you cook something for in all of your life? For this reason you are so tired?
We took yesterday MT till 7 p.m.
You took what?
MT.
MT.
Helicopter manager.
7 a.m.
7 a.m.
7
So from 8 to 7 p.m.
It's just a normal day for a student.
Yes, very good.
Very normal.
Yeah.
Extremely normal.
I slept from 8 to 4 a.m.
When I come back to the dorm, I sleep directly. I didn't even eat anything. Yesterday,
And those people, they didn't participate yesterday in the class and they were slept till today after 48. What can I say to them? What
Sir, we are not one of them. So we
those people in the actually the last row, especially one of the Mrs. Lady, the first lady of USA. What is the name?
I can do just 2 things for you.
2 negative points.
No, we can just do 2 things for you.
2 things.
Yeah.
What they are
Today
today?
or Monday.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't get what you mean exactly. Sorry.
He tried to
That's
joke.
after.
It was a flop joke.
What?
He wanted to joke.
Joke.
None of you
But
got
I
it.
didn't get it. I know it was a joke, but I didn't get the meaning of
He
it.
said we can only pray and we can only make
Right.
friends and want to
Pray?
experiences with them, yeah. But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was. So,
Sorry.
It's not
is the structure of cholesterol? No, don't worry. Just I think 15 minutes of my classes is remain, and then you will be free and you can go.
For how long? Free for how long?
Become so happy I can finish the class right now.
no, doctor, continue.
Okay, we have a 4 ring A, B, C, D, and also we have one double bond here. and 2 methyl group here, and 1 OH here. For this reason known as a cholesterol because it has a hydroxy. And this OH can receive what? Fatty acid and become what? Cholesterol ester. Cholesterol ester. Okay? So, they characterized by 4-ring core, which I wrote there, which the name is cyclohexanoperhydrophenol. You don't need to memorize that. Or a steroid, or nucleus. All of them we can use. Ester or monohydroxy alcohol, as you see here, they are alcohol of steroidal structure cholesterol. And this cholesterol is the most common example of steroid. Cholesterol is found only in animal tissue. We have another kind of steroid in plant which called, or was actually other kind of steroid. In the next slide, we will talk about them. So, here is the main actually nucleus or steroid nucleus A, B, C, D, and then the number of carbon in cholesterol, they are 27. Okay. When we add a fatty acid here, it's become cholesterol ester. Cholesterol ester. So how we can get the cholesterol? One of them by diet, from animal diet, and by biosynthesis. And primarily synthesis of cholesterol occurs in the liver. From what? Acetyl-CoA. Okay, and biosynthesis can be inhibited by LDL uptake, and the degradation just occurs in the liver and convert to the bile acid or bile salt is the main product. And related to role of cholesterol, as you mentioned, they are membrane component, they are actually for esterase synthesis, bile acid salt precursor, and vitamin D, which you did not mention that. Vitamin D also is part of the cholesterol synthesis somehow is similar to ketogenic pathway. I will talk about ketogenic after 5 minutes. Occurs in cytosol, require NADPH and ATP. It's cell regulator, and 80% occurs in liver, and actually 10% in intestine, 5% in skin, and other 5% in all other actually tissue. All of the carbon for cholesterol are coming from acetyl-CoA. Okay? And then this acetyl-CoA can be provided by glucose or fatty acid, especially from glucose. So what's happened for synthesis of cholesterol? When we have one molecule of acetyl what? Java? Two molecules of acetyl-CoA, they join together and they become acetoacetal or acetoacetyl-CoA. So two molecules of acetyl-CoA combine together. If we are going to go from this side to this side, can you remember what was this reaction? The final reaction of beta oxidation. The final reaction of beta oxidation is that two molecules of acetyl-CoA separated. The enzyme is thiolase. Also here we have a thiolase or thiokinase which do this reaction. So thiolase join two acetyl-CoA together and produce acetoacetyl-CoA. Okay, has a 4 carbon. Then another molecule of acetyl-CoA is coming and produce what? In brief, just we call it HMG. Hydroxymethyl glutarate-CoA, HMG-CoA. HMG has how many carbon? 6 carbon, because 3 molecules of acetyl-CoA added. What is the name of enzyme here? HMG-CoA synthase. HMG-CoA synthase. So till here, for ketogenic also is similar. We combine 3 molecules of acetyl-CoA and we produce HMG-CoA. Till now doesn't matter. But the next one is the most important enzyme in synthesis of cholesterol. So what's happening here? HMG-CoA, by the enzyme which name is HMG-CoA reductase, by using NADPH, convert HMG to mevalonate or mevalonate acid. Okay? This enzyme name is HMG-CoA reductase.
So to make HMG, we need synthetase. HMG synthetase.
We need reductase. So if we are going to regulate cholesterol biosynthesis, we should act on this enzyme. So if you be a medical doctor and you are going to use a drug for decreasing the cholesterol synthesis, what you should do? Drug CoA reductase inhibitor. What they are? They are statin. All kind of statin, mevastatin, pravastatin, simvastatin, all kind of this family. They provide a lot of family of this drug. They are cholesterol actually decreased drug which they inhibit this enzyme. They inhibit this enzyme.
HMG-CoA reductase.
We use statins.
What?
Statins.
Statins, yes.
HMG-CoA.
All
Reductase.
kind.
All kind of statin. They are maybe near to 10 actually part of this family. So in the next reaction, mevalonate has a 6 carbonate. Then this mevalonate is here. In the next step, by using 3 ATP, 1, 2, and 3, okay, and losing 1 molecule of CO2. Can you give me the here? It's lost. 3 ATP is used and finally become what? Isopantenyl pyrophosphate. Okay? Isopantenyl pyrophosphate. IP. IPP has a 5 carbon. Let me go up. IPP convert to another isoform doesn't matter for us. Okay? Then it has a 5 carbon. If we add another one isopentenyl pyrophosphate, what's created for us? The molecule with how many carbon? 10 carbon. We call it geranyl pyrophosphate, GPP. Can you remember how many carbon there was in cholesterol? 27. Is it enough for cholesterol?
No.
No. Then again, 1 IPP is added, and it's become farnesyl pyrophosphate. Farnesyl pyrophosphate has a 15 carbon. Again, it's not enough for 27. So another farnesyl pyrophosphate is adding to this molecule, and it's become what? Squalene. We call it squalene. Okay.
Come 20.
The squalene is somehow similar cholesterol, has a 30 carbon, but is linear, is not circular. Then near to 20 step, it's happened. After that, it's become another actual molecule which called lanosol. Okay. And non-stroke is completely similar to the cholesterol. 7 step here, 8 step here, become the cholesterol with 27. Those they are actually I wrote here are important. The whole figure doesn't matter. So again, you can look at that. Acetyl-CoA can be produced from citrate, from acetate itself, then acetoacetyl-CoA, HMG-CoA synthase, reductase, mevalonate, then mevalonate is a pantene pyrophosphate, geranyl pyrophosphate, again is a pantene, it's become farnesyl pyrophosphate and squalene. Then squalene is process become non-stroke, and non-stroke produce cholesterol for us.
Question.
Question.
Do we have to remember all of these enzymes, which, for example,
No.
just the process, it's just the steps?
Yeah. And related to regulation of cholesterol synthesis, as I mentioned, HMG-CoA reductase is so important enzyme for us. When it has a phosphate group is inactive, when it doesn't have a phosphate is active. Okay? Then insulin is one of the most important hormones which dephosphorylate and activate HMG-CoA reductase. Insulin is activator of cholesterol synthesis. And other hormones are actually act in other process. Here you can see insulin activate, glucagon inhibit. And this enzyme can be inhibited by this kind of statin. Fluvastatin, lovastatin, P2R-statin, Pavastatin, rosuvastatin, another kind of simvastatin, and you will use them a lot in future because some of people, or maybe most of the people, they need to actually treat the amount of cholesterol. For this reason, the using of statin is going to increase in all kind of countries. So they are so good drug, and actually they can help. So the last topic is related to ketogenesis. Ketogenesis or ketone body. We call them ketone body. Did you hear something about ketone body?
Yes.
What they are?
Body.
As here, you hear about them? I didn't tell you in the previous semester, ketone body.
No.
I mentioned there is a one group. Just I will talk about them in the next semester, but you forgot. Ketone body, there are 3 molecules. Their name is acetone. What is acetone, girls? Acetone is for? Yes, exactly. It's acetone. Also in our body we make acetone. And beta hydroxybutyrate and acetoacetate. These are 3 ketone bodies. You know during the fast Siyam, Shahrul Ramadan, at the evening, or some kind of people which they have diabetes at morning, or if you be fast alone, from your mouth there is actually a bad smell. What is the reason?
It's because of acid.
It's because of acid. Okay? Exactly is the smell of acid. Why acetone is produced?
It's also produced in those people who have who have diabetes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also found in the urine of people.
Somehow, yeah, exactly. We call it ketonuria. So, ketone body, they are soluble in blood. They are kind of fatty acid, but completely they are different because they are soluble in body, in blood circulation. Okay? Then they can be taken up and used by various tissue like muscle, heart, renal cortex, and specifically by the brain. Till now you learn brain just can use glucose. Okay? Just can use glucose. But in an exceptional time, brain also can use ketone body. When the concentration is high, Also, brain can use ketone body as a source of energy. What they are these three. How we made them by this pathway, exactly like cholesterol synthesis. One acetyl-CoA and another acetyl-CoA. Together, acetoacetyl-CoA. By another HMG-CoA synthesis, it's become HMG-CoA. But till here. Then the reaction is different. If you look at that, it's actually similar to previous because it's bigger than the previous. I will explain on this system. Acetyl-CoA can be provided by glycolysis, by fatty acid oxidation, by amino acid catabolism. Then two of them together, acetoacetyl-CoA by another acetyl-CoA, HMG-CoA. In the cholesterol synthesis, we have HMG-CoA reductase and but cholesterol synthesis occurs in the cytosol of liver cell. Not just liver cell, but all kind of cell, but primarily in the liver cell. But ketogenesis occurs in the mitochondria. For this reason, the source of HMG is different for ketogenesis and cholesterol synthesis. Here we have another enzyme, it's called HMG-CoA lyase. HMG-CoA lyase, which cut one of the acetyl-CoA. And what is produced for us? Acetoacetate. Then, acetoacetate can convert to the 3-hydroxybutyrate or can convert to the acetone by losing one CO2. This acetone excrete from our lung by breathing. Okay? We don't use acetone at all. We just excrete it. When we do ketogenesis, when we are fast, during the fasting, because our body doesn't have enough energy, it starts to produce energy from any kind of sources. One of the best sources of energy, they are ketone body, which in the liver they are synthesized. Then they send to the muscle, brain, or the tissue. And here, if we started from 3-hydroxybutyrate or beta-hydroxybutyrate, by production 1 and ADH, they become acetoacetate, and then by using succinyl-CoA to succinate, receiving coenzyme A, it's become acetoacetyl-CoA, then they produce 2 molecules of acetyl-CoA. So please answer this question. How many energy or ATP can be produced from ketone body?
How much carbon?
How many ATP or energy can be produced from ketone body?
Not
9.
not
Not you.
not many.
Not meaning
Many.
many. Not many. How much?
54.
54.
How many carbons does it?
How many carbon does it have? Can you look at them? We have 3 kind of ketone body just. One of them is acetone. We don't use acetone. We have 2 kind of ketone body. Hydroxybutyrate and acetoacetate. How many carbon they have? 4 carbon.
4. So
We are sorry, we wake up you. Just you take a
65, 63.
How you calculate this number?
By using because you said 4
It's
carbons.
here, everything is here.
It goes back to the
Back to what?
Because you said 4 carbons, so I assume there would be 3 NADH.
You know, the pathway is different from beta oxidation. We don't have beta oxidation here. The metabolism of ketone body is in this status. It's not related to beta oxidation at all.
If I say 0, will I fail?
Yes.
You will fail. Because you cannot understand we have an NADH production here is equal to 0.
So that's 12.
12, 2 ATP and ADH.
No, I mean
NADH is equal to
2.
3 or 2.5.
3.
3.
3 to 2.5.
NADH.
And then
3.
is equal to 3.
Yes.
Oh.
And at the final, how many acetyl CoA we have?
2.
2 acetyl CoA.
24 ATP.
Okay, 24.
24 and
3,
27.
27. 27 from what? From hydroxybutyrate. If you started from acetoacetate, how much? We don't have this NADH. How much?
24.
24. Okay? But here we have an enzyme which known as a thiolase. It doesn't actually notate very well. This enzyme here, paraphrase. It needs 1 molecule of ATP.
So 23.
23 for acetoacetate and 26 for the beta hydroxy.
Why would you use the ATP?
Here, because adding coenzyme A, this enzyme succinate to succinyl CoA in the Krebs cycle. If you remember that, during the Krebs cycle, by production from succinyl CoA to succinate, in the next, we actually create a 1 GTP. So for the next reaction, we need it using 1 GTP or ATP.
How many in total?
So we make 27, but we lose 1 in the next.
Exactly.
How many?
So finally, if insulin be low and epinephrine and glucagon be high, lipolysis is increased, free fatty acid in plasma increased, hepatic output of ketone body is increased, and known as the ketoacidosis. It means the production of ketone in plasma is increased, the rate of actually the concentration of the ketone in the plasma is increased, and known as the ketoacidosis. And also this ketone, we excrete them by urine, which known as a ketonuria and ketoacidosis. In diabetic patient, we have a ketoacidosis. And because this ketoacidosis, it's acid. If you remember from previous semester, water and buffer, it was so important to maintain the pH at neutral. When ketoacidosis happen, our body start to reestablish the pH and need a lot of energy. But if it can't, ketoacidosis decrease the pH, and when pH decrease in our body, all the enzyme activity, all the cell function, they will destroy and maybe lead to the coma and death. When ketoacidosis increase too much in diabetic acidosis, lead to their failure. Fail maybe lead to the death, lead to the actually coma, any kind of complication. So it was the last slide, and you are lucky the class is finished. You can go to dorm, have enough rest. Next month I will come and again I will bother you and I will punish you again.